The title of this podcast is A Conscious Being Makes a Hard Journey Easy. This is inspired by a quote by Philip Messenger. And his quote was, "A willing mind makes a hard journey easy." I mean, with the practice, I like to think of a conscious being does that for me. And where I heard the quote was at a learning opportunity where lunch was provided for our nurses, and a surgeon was there to connect with them, not only educate them, but also further the relationship. And so that we could have this amazing collaboration that Mayo Clinic is known for. And this surgeon did magnificently during that process. And he started off his talk with that quote from Philip Messenger. I modified it just a bit to say that the practice has helped me stay conscious. And so my title of this talk again is A Conscious Being Makes a Hard Journey Easy. I think about all the things that I have experienced in my life. I went from seeing them as problems, and then I became really achievement oriented and all about, I'm just going to apply hard work and just bear down and get it done, and not enjoying the hard work part of it, but being disciplined and committed to do it. So I went from that achievement oriented mindset, and it was all about the willing mind. And then I started to understand that there was an opportunity to move from seeing problems as challenges to seeing them as opportunities. And the opportunities were not just opportunities to grow mentally, emotionally, all that's great, but to grow my capacity to have my consciousness lead the way. And as I mentioned, I've gone through challenges before, from things in the workplace that I didn't care for, I thought were unfair, to looking at the ills or what's going on in society that my mind says is a problem. I went from all of that and suffering along the way as I got wrapped up and identified with a position about that. I don't like this. It shouldn't be this way. Why do people treat this way? This is unfair. To becoming conscious without having any of that inner dialogue, any of that kind of chatter, and just accepting things exactly as they were. And again, acceptance doesn't mean that you're passive. It just means that any action you take will be intelligent action, not informed by the mind, but informed by being conscious, of being loving, being kind, leading with an open heart. And so that's what I started to do. I started to apply that to everything that I experienced. And when I really noticed how beneficial that could be was when I thought that I had no alternative. And that's when I went through a relationship challenge and a business challenge at the same time, 7, 8 years ago. And I tried all the other stuff, thinking my way through it, which only led to anxiety, ruminating, and also obsessive thinking. There was no peace doing it that way. I wanted a peaceful way to go through this opportunity, to come out on the other side completely free of any resentment, completely free of any, holding on to any past trauma or pain, but to come out stronger, better, more loving, more kind. And that's what happens when you cultivate a conscious mind, when you cultivate yourself to become a conscious being that informs the mind so it becomes conscious too. And I continue to apply that every single day. So I say this to anyone who's listening, that if you're going through something that is challenging, ask yourself, is thinking my way through it, is that allowing me to experience any kind of inner peace? Is by trying to manipulate or control the situation or another person, is that bringing me inner peace along the way? If you, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a job challenge, whether it's family, or even an illness, ask yourself, how do I want to go through this? Do I want to continue to use a willing mind to just kind of, drive my way through it? Or do I want to work on myself so that I become a conscious being as I work through this new opportunity to be my best self? And along the way, do no harm, but instead to serve the moment that's in front of me in the best way that I can.